of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by favor of fair use.
We're going live at 5. We're going live at 5-ish. 6 o'clock. We're going live at 6 o'clock. We're going live.
It's fluffy. It's fluffy. It's too much lag. It's not gonna work. Not gonna work. Try it. On again. Try it again. At least that doesn't break up. But this lag is not gonna cut it. Not gonna cut it. Too slow. Too slow. Let's see what we got. Like crazy? Still delete it.
Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
We're going live at 5. We're going live at 5-ish. 6 o'clock.
Pull up. All right. It's not looking good. Not feeling good. Feeling slow, sluggish. Let's show it to do. Let's see.
We're going live at 5. We're going live at 5-ish. 6 o'clock. We're going live at 6 o'clock. 6, 5. That's it.
It's pretty bad. All right. Welcome to Live at 5. I don't know. The buffering seems like it's a little crazy. Like I'm on a just watch Hackers yesterday, so this not feeling like a hacker right now. Feeling less hackerish. Just trying to pick up some bandwidth, brother. Everything is too slow. Let me know. Let me know if I'm buffering. I feel like I am. I feel like I'm moving slow. I'm just gonna try to get through the show. Welcome live at 5. It was pretty much an episode about H.P. Lovecraft and his up and comings. Welcome in the chat. Smiley faces. Love the smiley faces. But unfortunately, fortunately, we're having some functions, some malfunctions. It's all good. We're pushed through. Welcome live at 5. The on the show starts at 8:30.
What are we talking about?
Oof. Not sounding sweet. Not on my end. It's real chopped. Real chopped. Well, pretty much, I'll just run it through what happened to make me want to do this episode and then get in, get out. Because thank you for your contributions to the chat, as always. Good to see you. Hold on. Shouts to July. Buttons on lock. It's not working out. Oh, constriction. It's okay. All right. We're having a buffering day. It's not looking too sexy, guys, to be honest with you. Typical Wednesday. Well, no, I was just up late the other night, and I was playing South Park. And you know how South Park to me is like The Simpsons. They rarely lie or tend to fabricate. They was right about just about a couple of things. So this thing came up, and then it put me in a rabbit hole. And then I wanted a misconception of who he is, because of the name Lovecraft, we connect him to the show, which was the awesome Lovecraft Country show. But they're very far from each other, let me tell you. So tonight we could get into some of that. I don't think that my buttons are working tonight, so I don't know. It's not working out. And if I'm buffering, please let me know, because we could probably just pick this up another time, because so you can let me know. Chat, shout outs to you. Thank you for joining me. I would give you a greeting, but like I said, buttons on swole, not working out. So just thank you for joining me. Yeah. So racism through problem with H.P. Lovecraft is that oh, the computer just informed me that I'm offline. Could you imagine that? How could that be? This is I'm offline. What do you mean? I can't be offline. All right. The mythos of Cthulhu. And the reason why Black people even know who Lovecraft is, I mean, you probably, I'm not going to say all, but I personally know this stuff. I play games that incorporate his work as far as like underwater worlds and gods that are fish people, and his fear of, he has xenophobia. So we're getting into all of his his ailments, which made him write some excellent work. But with that comes a lot of unfortunate racism. And South Park picked up on that. I missed it. I missed it. I wasn't aware of the gentleman, but I will talk about him a little bit today. It's not going to be a long show. Welcome to Live at Faster. Let's get on a little faster. A little faster.
We're going live at 5-ish. 6 o'clock. We're going live at 6 o'clock. 6-5. Ooh, that's it.
I don't like that. I don't love it. So, how much Lovecraft did we see? And okay, first of all, spoiler alert: if you haven't seen Lovecraft Country, go check it out. It's on HBO. It's a fantastic series. It's just a great show all around. It addresses racial issues that we still have today, but also from the past. It includes legends from the past. It includes historians. Love. What else you got? Just time travel. I mean, what do you want? It's a all around fantastic show. Tonight I will be spoiling one part of the show. It's not really it's not the end all be all of the show. It was actually a very small part of the show when you think about the grand scheme. I'm trying, yo. The buttons, I'm trying. It's not working.
I wish a nigga like, subscribe and share.
Oh, Scott like this. It's fucking with me today. It's not feeling me today. But yeah. So a little bit about that show. Like I said, spoiler alert. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. If you don't want to get Lovecraft Country spoiled for you, don't listen to this part of the show. But there was a novel by Matt Ruff. Matt Ruff is the creator of the Lovecraft Country book, which turned into the show. Matt Ruff has a vivid imagination of what the Jim Crow era was, and how like the monsters aren't really so much the people. Like you can't just put your hand on the issues that poison the land or trouble the land. It's not so much a one person thing, and he tried to flip that into a more of a disease, less than or maybe like a higher entity, some bigger. Everybody joining the chat, thank you for joining me. Let's get started.
I wish a nigga like, subscribe and share.
All right, we got it. That's enough. Okay, so yeah. So instead of what Matt Ruff did, he just flipped the entire Jim Crow era and exactly what was going on with us back then in the 60s and 50s, and made a phenomenal outer world sci-fi depiction of what it would be like to live in that era as a black person and a white person. So I know, me personally, I didn't know anything about H.P. Lovecraft, and I just heard the name, so I assumed that he had something to do with the project. He has very little to do. His work has very little to do with the Matt Ruff version of Lovecraft Country. Lovecraft, that just happens to be the title. The only thing that he did borrow, spoiler alert, from H.P. Lovecraft was the Cthulhu god, which is a mythos creature that, you know, swallows people whole, swallows towns whole, creates disillusions and all of these like horrific things that it does to you once it gets a hold of you, makes you eyes bleed, etc., etc. Classic Cthulhu, right? But when the creator of Lovecraft Country, Matt Ruff,
we're going live at 5.
the creator Matt Ruff, when he was going, using some of H.P. Lovecraft's work, he said that his idea of what Cthulhu was racism in itself. So he said that Cthulhu was, if you could put a creature or a human being on racism, he thought for the show what how you would describe racism in a form, something that's overpowering, sees all, is all, can't kill it, can't die, just continues to be. It takes like, it's supposedly this dripping, disgusting eye monster, but it's supposed to be a reflection of what it is to be a racist person. You're supposed to look at that monster and see like, well, that's what I could become if I continue those sort of ways or whatever. So he had, that was a design made by H.P. Lovecraft, but when Matt Ruff got a hold of that, he decided to use that as a character, and say like, well, hey, the racism is sort of like this several armed figure coming down. This is what it was like for them. Imagine some entity coming down and they can't, and it's up to spoiler alert, Jackie Robinson to knock it out of the park. Because that's pretty much what happens. Jackie Robinson knocks it out of the park. It's a phenomenal show. So it takes Jackie Robinson to beat Cthulhu. Like, so when I was like, okay, so how many times have people used either H.P. Lovecraft's work or his or just mythos creatures in general to connect to the racism that's happening in modern day? So I kind of just did some research on my man HP. I'm gonna share it with you. I got some clips and chips as always, and yeah, that's all. You're looking at Cthulhu over his city. Clearly, that's like the kaiju that he is. They wouldn't call him a kaiju, but he kind of is. Got July Baby in the corner. Shout outs to the wife. Shout outs to black women in general. Are we gonna cut it up? You gonna play for me? You gonna play the button? You gonna do it?
The African American woman is the backbone of the black family, really of the whole American family. I mean,
this is actually a sound test. It's actually a sound test because before I play the clips, I got to make sure that the buffering has ceased and assists. I'm going to relive what happened. So what happened was I'm up late playing South Park, and then all of a sudden, a creature comes out of nowhere. So I'm like to myself, like I say, they're like my Simpsons for me. I've been watching South Park since I was a young kid. They have really done anything dirty as far as like not been right, but a lot of their stuff is just letting you know about things that you may have not know about, and then they kind of like they over exaggerate. Of course, that's their job to make a show. But what I saw that night, it kept me up, and I didn't understand what I was seeing. So, like, sometimes they go hard, but like, why go so hard? Okay, for example, when they were using the hand puppet to talk as Jennifer Lopez to just talk about how much of a crazy nut that she is, and that how probably
go back to my home country. You can get reconnected with your roots and go back.
There may not be any Spanish there, okay? Especially coming from your unemployed ass mouth.
This probably doesn't sound good. To me, it sounds choppy, but I don't know. Hopefully, it sounds better on your end. Okay, we won't press too many of these so we can get together, but I feel like the video might do the same thing. Let's just pray to Allah that it does not. Let's just get a smooth sailing. But yeah, let's reenact the night. It's up, 2:33, South Parkin'. This is from the Fractured with Truth game. I skipped the first one, playing it backwards to forwards because I feel like this is that sort of thing. And I'm gonna hit you with what I saw, and then we'll get into the lore of that is this god that's behind me. Hold on. Get it. Hold on. Out of the frame. Go back into frame. Up there. Okay, well, Shub-Niggurath. Is this a coincidence nickname, or is H.P. Lovecraft a racist? I had to look it up. Internet says don't call him that. Don't call him that. He's not a racist. He's just a man that's due to unfortunate events and really bad at nicknaming things. I don't think that's the case. I think that he may suffer from like I call it Caucasian syndrome, Anglo-Saxon, where they take themselves away from, they're so afraid of everyone else that they ostracize themselves. And then you start building your own little racial, this is like Anglo clicking or whatever it's called. And you know what you do. You scare yourself into hatred. Like that's what happened to on July 6th. Like you scare yourself into January 6th, not July 6th, January 6th. You scare yourself into like chaos, frenzy. You don't need any help. The government helps a little bit, just like we all watch the same news that you watch, but you saw something different and you did something different. So I think you've never stopped doing that. H.P. Lovecraft as well. He let his paranoia definitely get the best of him. And his minor, like most of you have, not all, but some. Got a smidget of racism, just a smidge. Liz Vega is live now on Kick. Shout out to Liz Vega. Go check her out. She's excellent. It's got a notification. Shout out to Liz Vega. Don't leave this stream though. Go watch her after. Let's give her a shout out. Should hope it's not kind of the way it sounds here. What up? If it's cutting, put a 1 in the chat. If it's not cutting, I'm gonna keep it pushing. I'm gonna share my screen. I'm gonna show you what I saw. Educational purposes only. Hopefully the buffering will let me live. Let me be. You know what I mean? Just a Wednesday, you know what I mean? All right. Thanks. Okay. Kelly. Oh, Kelly gets it. If this book up. Looks like it's buffering.
Follow us on Instagram. Connect on Facebook. Wherever you guess you're going.
It's God. And then I'm not gonna spoil the game entirely. I'm not gonna tell you that they connect. Or maybe I'll play. We're not done buffering yet, unfortunately. I think we're still a little jank. Still a little jank. Try it again. Welcome to Live at 5, guys. The only show where we Google stuff and we try it again. But I'm gonna be honest, this service today is to the dogs. It's to the dogs. But we're still giving it a go. Because we don't quit. We don't quit here. But we're losing viewers. All right. All right. Getting YouTube going. Ring. Ringing. It's old girl. My computer is sick, I think. It needs to go to the doctor. Scott for becoming the new laughing stock or whatever. He took Kanye's place. Kanye was being made fun of. Drake is being made fun of, but I feel like Travis Scott might take the cake.
Okay. Well,
because you can make fun of Drake's music, but it's still kind of catchy. I mean, it's catchy for the audience that is trying to get. I showed my wife Nokia. That's not it. She said that's why I wasn't it. She didn't like it. Baby girl, didn't come to me, girl. That's not it, right? But somebody, they said it was Song of the Summer. People like it. So where is Travis Scott's Baby Girl? He hasn't found it. All of his music consists of, I'm not even going to say drug use because that's the, I'm saying his music consists of like ketamine only, which we would have to like black out. And then it's like, well, if I'm gonna have to black out, why would I listen to this? But that's where we're at. Girl. But I'm gonna show you this Cthulhu clip. If the computer could just work with me for another 10 minutes, 20 minutes, because I'm getting the hell out of here. Buffering's not working for me. And I'll show you the clip. And I need to know why South Park decided to go this route with out of all the love HP Lovecraft monsters, I know, well, gods, I know, you know, they all have their own shit. But this one's particular name, I thought would pull itself, and South Park chose otherwise. So we'll get into that if it'll just play normally. Still looks like it, but I don't know. We'll see. I'll try it. I'll try it. Oh, boy. So here. Share my screen? We did it. Kinda. Moving like a turtle.
We're going live at 5. We're going live at 5-ish. 6 o'clock. We're going live at 6 o'clock. 6:05. Ooh, that's it.
I wasn't doing one of those things when people stall and they're like, "Oh, well, hold on for 30 minutes. So I can show you what I'm talking about." No, I'm just having technical difficulties. Isn't that clickbait to the viewers on Kick? Hopefully, it'll play in smooth fashion.
Yeah, Shub-Niggurath, black coat of the woods. Blessed be us, your faithful servants, the destroyers of light.
In the beginning, Ash, Na, Niggurath, the trouble of the sun. Now, that is the correct calling of this god, Niggurath. It is a black goat. Okay. Now, you tell me if this has anything to do with black people or a fear of what black people from the test of time, the fear of what white people think that we do to this country. So it's a black goat, the imaginary figure that draws ancient pagan deities. We do not this to demonize, and then all the guy does it reinforce and resame and continues that throughout its timeline. It is a woman, by the way. Shub-Niggawhat is a woman god, or mother, earth mother, but of death. The cycle of monsters. So I'm trying to figure out, why would he name a creature Shub-Niggurath? Now, so shoving niggas off the cliff. They're actually doing that in the game, and then when you look up, don't Google too much, because I'm going to say I'll do the rest. Let me do.
We're going live at 5-ish. 6 o'clock. We're going live at 6.
So he's pulling this. They're pulling this guy. These guys. They're throwing these guys off the cliff, and I'm like, South Park. What's this part of the game? What's this? No explanation, by the way. Keep in mind, you're a child. In this game, you're a child. They don't explain nothing. They just throw it right in there. And the police are heavily involved. Okay. Clips and dips. Welcome live at 5. Doing show sets at 7:30.
We're going live. I wish you'd
Oh, I guess because the top speed after told by the great racist too. Oh fuck, was he really? Like how racist?
These niggas completely crazy. Let's end it.
I'm not going to tell you who that character is. You have to play the game to find out, but she is my favorite character in the entire game.
All right.
That's pretty much, that's probably enough. But what you're looking at,
Talk salary.
great. The commercials always work, but nothing else does. Entendre wordplay where you're shoving niggas off and also H.P. Lovecraft's racism. Did you start me? What are you doing to my playlist? You're just playing whatever you want. But yeah, they added this as a bit. I'm just like, okay, so let me look into this guy to see what's going on with H.P. Lovecraft. But like I said, the name that had something to do with a show that we've never seen before, or anything like that. So that had nothing to do with her of fear, and that same fear led him to some really weird decisions in his we could talk about a little bit of who Shub-Niggawhat is and what it show you how South Park flipped it. It's clearly a black devouring. That's the whole. I'm just not doing propaganda. Probably kind of have some sort of idea of what the author's thoughts were to even flip the character or the god to be the complete opposite of what he thought. You know, he said it was just supposed to be this black cow. That's why nigger coming from because he was just using this Spanish word for black, which is not Niger, and then of course the river, what have you. But no, I think that he is very well aware of the word because he put two G's and not one G. And we'll get into a little bit why I am doubling down on his race. We'll get into that. Welcome Live at 5, the only show that talks about H.P. Lovecraft.
We're going live.
Regular. Regular, no.
Live at 5. Ish. 6 o'clock. Ooh. Ooh. Nasty.
Okay, share my screen. breaking down Cthulhu myths. That's all. But is like explaining exactly who Shub-Niggurath is, and then I'll get into why people are defending it, and then that's it. Then you can be a come to the conclusion. Is it
Do hear the name mentioned in various rituals and incantations, but nearly all of her description and lore comes from August Derleth, Robert Bloch, Ramsay Campbell, and many more of the mythos authors. Now, as to what Shub-Niggurath actually appears as, that's a bit harder to explain. She's essentially an enormous mass of horrid proportion, a cloud of black goo from which emerges dozens of goat legs, hundreds of flailing black tentacles, and several mouths dripping with blood and slime. These mouths continuously spit out small creatures, and that is one of the main reasons that Shub-Niggurath is regarded as a deity of fertility, be it far more grotesque than the deities of fertility that we may be used to from traditional mythology. Now, as for the origins of the name itself, much of Lovecraft's work was influenced by Lord Dunsany, and it's likely that Shub-Niggurath is a reference to a character in Dunsany's Dreamer's Tales called Shub-Niggawho, who is also a deity associated with the wild and untamed nature. In terms of the rather...
That's where they said he got the name from. Allegedly, it wasn't nigger, which you'll probably hear somebody say, "Oh, it's not nigger, it's Niggeroff." It's like it's just a play on words. It's the German version of Nigger, Newmusic, and blah blah blah. But I'm saying this because I did believe that when I looked it up, and I was like, we can't. Everything's not about us, etc. But when you look up more about H.P. Lovecraft, you realize that either one, he's just a Pink Panther of racism. He's just accidentally racist, and that he doesn't really know how it keeps happening. Or he is just a racist, his author, and it got skipped by us. That's all. I never got into his work like that. And I'm telling you, a lot of black people probably just know who he is from the show. But if you did follow his work, I'm letting you know that it's a bit problematic, his up and coming. So I'm just play the rest of the good, and then I'll get into the why are people negating that it had nothing to do with nigger if it had nothing to do with it. And then why are people just flat out saying like, yo, this guy is racist. It's okay. He's a racist author. He had half of his paranoia came from just dealing with people of other races and people in general. So that a lot of these Edgar Allan Poes and a lot of these authors were crazy, and a lot of them were racist. You can't stop that. You can't stop racism from back then. It was okay to be racist back then. It was okay to use the word N-word freely, So we'll see which ones decide to use it to tell the story. Like maybe my man Mothman, from Lovecraft. Matt Ruff, how Matt Ruff used his work, H.P. Lovecraft's work, to depict what an entity and what racism could look like as a god or a deity, something that lasted this long. But he's saying that this thing, Niggeroth, would be the counter-terrorism of that. Some black god, woman, who's a way of life for the Anglo-Saxons. Yes. Thank you for your contributions to chat, as always, and your words in time. Yes, it was a common word. It was a everyday word. Good morning, nigga. Good morning, nigga. They called each other nigga. It was really weird. Weird times. So I think that either he loved the word or he just, like I said, Pink Panther with it. Didn't mean to, just like, oh, it just was on my brain at the time, and then one thing led to another, and this book lasts forever. So, do you think it's said more now or back then? Thank you for your contributions to the chat. Anybody else watching? I saw you. I think it's really used more now. And I think it's used more now. It's used more now, educationally and productively than it was used back then. Back then, I think it was just used as sustain, and I think now it's a disdain, and now it's used as a more of a productive word. So I feel like it's used more now, but more of a productive way, because back then it was just used to just to hurt people, and just how do you define a low level creature? So it's that's kind of has a whole different definition now. So I would say it's used more now than then, because it's more of a positive word. But of course, it's still used negatively. I see it all day on X. They scream it.
Odd family tree that many have attempted to piece together. Shub-Niggurath is one of the oldest deities to exist. Azathoth, of course, being the first and the oldest, followed by the nameless mist and its sibling, the unnamed darkness. Shub-Niggurath is considered a child of the darkness, and Yog-Sothoth himself came from the nameless mist. So there are definitely some parallels that we can draw there, considering that Shub-Niggurath was both the mate and wife to Yog-Sothoth, making her one of the potential mothers of Nug and Yeb, and the grandmother to our favourite squid boy, the great dreamer Cthulhu. It's also believed that she mated with the king in yellow, Hastur, producing several different creatures. The most well-known.
Now, people watching this, if you follow all of his work, you're going to know exactly who all these gods are. I do not know. I don't know Hastur. I don't know Thastel. I looked it up when I was doing this, and I did find a few of these people that have something to do with this woman god, but I'm just focusing on her today. But yes, so she would be the grandmother of Cthulhu, the end or. Now, if Matt Ruff used Cthulhu to depict, hold on, it's gonna be choppy. So there's more than one. Thank you for your time, contributions to the chat. There's more than one Cthulhu? No. There are more than. Oh no, the gods of the H.P. Lovecraft universe. There are many. And they're all bad. They're all evil. None of them are good. Not to my understanding. They all do terrible shit. So, if you go to Reddit and you look up like, why did H.P. Lovecraft? Why did Matt Huffman use H.P. Lovecraft reference in this movie? In the show depicting racial undertones, knowing that, or overtones, really, knowing that this guy's vision wasn't race related, which is coming to turn that it was, and that he never mentioned race in his books. Come to turn that he did. But it's like, I think most readers, they picked it up and they realized it, and now you could use it because everything's past its prime. By the way, 1927 is when the last copyright strike of all his work. So all of his work is free domain now. You can use any of his work now. So I feel like because of that happened, people are trying to like go back and see like who were these mythical creatures, the mythos, that what's the connection to our modern world. Every single deity in the world has a connection to our modern world. So he didn't come out of nowhere. They mean something. So I just picked one. I never even looked up Cthulhu. I just know Cthulhu is what it is, supposed to be the end. But apparently he has a grandmother, and it's Shub-Niggawho. So if he can't be the end all. Thank you for your contribution to the chat and your time. He can't be the end all because apparently he has a family tree of monsters who don't take kindly to human beings.
And being 1,000 young, who are also referred to as the Dark Young in some cases. Now, these children are quite similar in description to their mother. They appear as a collection of tentacles, pitch black in colour, capable of growing as big as 20 feet tall, standing on stumpy hoof legs like an open grave, and they can often be found in woodlands wherever their mother's cult has an active following. In some cases, the Dark Young can act as an avatar or as a mouthpiece for their mother, accepting the sacrifices from the cult on her behalf. There is one ritual that can be found in the Book of Abon that summons a Dark Young through a blood offering. It states that the victim must be sacrificed over a stone altar deep in the woodlands at the darkest of the moon. The Dark Young would then manifest, devouring the offering intended for their mother. Why these cults have no direct interaction
So then people are going to pretend as if South Park did not just do what they did and said, well, this God, given the way that he wrote, the way that he writes HP and his history, he's saying that the sacrifices are connected to police officers, and then every single black person that they murder is a sacrifice to the god of Shub-Niggurath. And I'm telling you, South Park is my Simpsons. They rarely just pull shit out of their ass for no reason. I'm like, why attack H.P. Lovecraft right now? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Guy's been long dead. That this particular story is from like 1938. So it's kind of like, why pull this out now? I feel like because of the cops killings are up, and a lot of white people are confused to why the cops are continuing to do what they do. If you ask like a proactive white person, they are very confused to why cops are still killing us and doing the things they do. Not your fucking Reddit white person that says we don't know how to comply. I'm just talking about a sensible person. They don't understand why this stuff is still happening after all this time. So South Park's explanation of that would be there's a deity, a syphilis-induced deity. That's what it says. That persists on non-white meat. It kills it, and it only needs black meat to survive and become stronger. That's how they wrote that in the game. And the only place that they could get fresh black meat, young black meat, is through police officers. They're the only ones. They're the only ones dealing fresh black meat on a daily basis. Okay, so again, some people will say it's from the Latin Shugoth, Yugoth, and Yoksotha, and Ezaoth, and I'm like, nah, he just liked the word nigger. He did, and I'm gonna explain why. Well, they say that specifically California police departments have satanic worshipers. Absolutely, there are a lot of people. Thank you for your contribution, your time in the chat. A lot of people say that, again, when you don't have an explanation for something, you think like it has to be above me. So a lot of people are saying that the reason why these cops keep getting off, and then even though they get off that one time, they still continue to do it again. It must be something about higher above us as citizens that make them continue to want to do it, even though they get away with it. They could call us looters, shooters, and whatever we want. But there's a couple of, if we get that one heist and we could get away with it, we won't come back. I promise you that. They will continue to do this until they get stopped. Most people, black, I'm saying, they'll commit crimes until they get arrested, sure, and come out rehabilitated. There's no rehabilitation for a police officer.
This is me right here, all day, every day.
You are a fucking pig.
Why did Nancy Pelosi say when George Floyd was murdered, "Thank you for your sacrifice"? I don't know why she said that. Thank you for your contribution to the chat. This is what I'm talking about. It's like with the Kunta Kinte cloths. Mm-hmm. There's no reason to say that. There's no reason to say sacrifice unless it was a sacrifice. You wouldn't say that in your own family. Oh, my grandfather sacrificed his life for this country, unless he was a vet. But if someone just dies, you don't. It's not a sacrifice unless you are giving it to a black hole or a deity or something. I don't know. Again, is it just using bad wordplay, or they're slipping up? I'm not a conspiracy. Listen, first of all, no. I was minding my own business. They have the controller. I was got to put the prop. This is pause my whole life. I said, wait a second. Pause my whole life. 3 o'clock in the morning. What do you mean that the cops are? What does that mean? South Park don't play. They called Kanye West being gay. Nigga came out with a song called "Sucking My Cousin's Dick." They don't play. They've been on point. Why would they do this? That's the new. It's a newer game. Maybe it came out like 2 years ago. Maybe like 2 years ago. Why even add this? Because there's probably truth to it. Never heard of this god. It's an all-black deity woman who keeps birthing chaotic demons with goat feet, or she has goat feet, that do nothing but perpetuate the cycle of violence. That sounds like a white tweet.
Shub-Niggurath isn't really mentioned, but it may have something to do with the fact that we don't really know where she currently resides, and haven't done so for some time. The most common theory being that she's located deep beneath the surface on the planet Yadith. Yadith was originally a planet inhabited by the Nog-Soth, but eventually...
That was weird too. I did always think that was weird, and I always thought that was weird. Thank you for your contribution to the chat. I always thought that was weird that out of every single Black Death, you know, when let's say when that white girl died, Gabby, did we take a knee for Gabby? Was Gabby a sacrifice? Did we thank Gabby Patillo for her sacrifice? Even though that was like a really big crime, right? It was a murder, really big murder. Did we say, Gabby, thank you for your sacrifice because now we know how to protect white women more? No, that's not. They never would use that word sacrifice when it comes to death. So yes, I also thought that was very weird. It's always weird, the shit they do. It has to be a god thing or some sort of deity, because other than that, it doesn't make any fucking sense.
they were overwhelmed by a race of huge worm-like creatures called the Dolls, who completely destroyed the Nog-Soth in their attempt to annihilate the planet. But Shub-Niggurath was able to survive, and has been under the planet's surface ever since. Another interesting theory makes a distinction between Shub-Niggurath and the Black Goat, claiming that they are in fact two separate entities. The Black Goat is described as a male figure, being referred to as the Lord of the Woods in The Whisperer in the Darkness, which is also a title used to describe the Greek god of the wild Pan, who himself is a deity associated with fertility. This then led to the theory that the Black Goat is actually the personification of Pan, who in turn is the earthly avatar of Shub-Niggurath, who breeds with her followers.
Now Shub-Niggurath, now what they're saying, if they're doing their math right, not only is it mother, but he says that Shub-Niggurath is also Black Goat because it has Black Goat feet. So then it's saying that it could make its own babies because now it's man and woman. If the Black Goat and Shub-Niggurath are the same and the Black Goat is male and then Shub-Niggurath is woman, what is Shub-Niggurath?
In relation to who actually worshipped her, there are several groups that we can take a look at. These included the Hyperboreans, a race of mythical human-like entities, believed to have originated from the far north in a lost era. The humans of the city Sarnath, who existed some 10,000 years ago, were also said to be amongst her followers. The Mu or the Muvians were primarily a race known for their worship of Gitana-Thoa, the firstborn of Cthulhu, but they did have one member among them known as Tiog, who would eventually become a high priest of Shub-Niggurath, looking for her assistance in destroying Gitana-Thoa and its followers. She was also worshipped by a number of alien species, including the Migo and the Nog-Soth. I know at times these less mentioned alien species can get a bit confusing, so I think I'll make a follow-up video going over some of them in some more detail.
This is this nigga's brain. This is all H.P. Lovecraft. This is how he dreams. This is what he sees in his sleep. I don't understand this guy. He suffers from mental illness for sure. Like he and they said it has something to do with his xenophobia and him not dealing with humans, not being like a socialite and just being an incel. But I'm like, nigga, like 90% of Americans are incels. Don't dream of shit like this, And most of the niggas like that you see online, skydiving and hanging out, they can't wait to be in the house by themselves and and not doing that. But I'll do it if it pays me. Do you know what I'm saying? Most people like socializing, but if they could just cuddle up with one person and just take it easy, they would. Why do you wait to do that when you're 70 years old? What is retirement about? Isn't that like the whole
Regular, it's regular. No.
One thing to note is that many of her followers believe that her milk mutated those who drank it into terrible creatures. So we do have this weird notion of her followers seeing this as the end goal, becoming.
Thank you for your contribution. Is H.P. Lovecraft demonically possessed? I'll say this: if he's not demonically possessed, he either or just has a fascination with the N-word, and he has a fear. A deep fear of not the milk. Yeah, if anyone drink, well, you remember when thank you for your contributions to the chat. Do you remember when during COVID they was talking about the women selling their breast milk for money? Because they wasn't like certain people couldn't get the breast milk, and then because like certain people like wasn't sure to give their own children their breast milk because they wasn't sure if they was sick or not. So there were like women, they were women who were like, I ain't got COVID and I got breast milk. How much you want for it? And they were selling breast milk during COVID. You had to tell people not to drink other women's breast milk. You have to tell guys not to drink other women's breast milk. Never tried it. Not even as a kid. Sim-like baby. But I will say this: there's blood in there. So if you find yourself around some fucking breast milk, just remember there's blood in there. Holy shit! Mm-hmm. Sacrifices blood. Come on, what kind of show are we doing today? That's probably why we're all messed up. Yeah, absolutely. From the Similac or the blood.
The black family.
Thank you for your
really, the whole American family. I mean, if it wasn't raised by a black woman, I know I was. You know what I'm getting?
Yes. No. Breastfeeding, for sure. Could be anybody else who's about you here with me. I appreciate you. Yes, the breastfeeding. I feel too intimate. And if there's spirits and all, I'm not doing that. I'm just saying that niggas said that there's spirits in vintage clothing. If it's in the clothes, it's got to be in the milk. Shit. I got scared from that. So this terrified me. I'm like, so wait, who is this female god that's been around this whole time, that's been punishing us, and we did nothing to this witch. But she's pissed at us. And for some reason she thinks that she needs to eat us to become powerful. Well, I got news for you, Shub-Niggawhat. You gotta change your diet. We're not on the menu anymore.
One of her repulsive children. In Shub-Niggurath, we have another deity created by Lovecraft who he himself never really expanded upon. It was instead the writers who followed, who took the idea and implemented it in their own stories. Some of the most famous examples included Stephen King, who referenced her several times, including in his novel Revival, and then again in his story Crouch End, where we see a woman being pursued by the minions of the goat with 1,000 young, eventually being hunted by the goat itself towards the end of the story. Terry Pratchett was also an author well known for taking the works of Lovecraft and adding his own humorous spin. For example, Pratchett has a character in moving pictures called Teshep-Alcathep, the infernal star-toad with 1,000,000 young. It was known to kill its victims by showing them pictures of its children until their brains would explode. There are dozens of books, TV shows, mangas, and games that in some way reference the character, and I'm sure many of you have fought against Shub-Niggurath as a boss in the latest South Park game, which of course has its own rather comical approach to Lovecraft's deities. In terms of her overall role in the mythos, honestly I don't really know, and I suppose that's how it's meant to be. To me, she fills the role of the mother deity that we see in so many other mythologies, so perhaps she is the dark, twisted Earth Mother of cosmic horror. Let me know what you think in the comments below. As always, I've been your host.
Shout out to this guy. Follow him. I don't know. Just Google British guys talk about stuff. I don't know. There's a whole bunch of them on YouTube. So, bam, right? So I'm like, oh, okay, so cool. She's the mother of all of these terrible things then. And he decided, not nobody else, just H.P. Lovecraft, decided to make Shub-Niggurath, the mother deity of all of the evil characters that he created in his brain. And she is the grandmother of Cthulhu, who I once was afraid of. I had nightmares about this character once I first heard about it. And now I figure out who his grandmother is, and she's a whole nigga. So I'll get into just a little bit of the defense, a clear and cut that he is who he is, and he should be able to live his life. I'm gonna just give you a heads up why I decided to go forth with this episode again. Not only because of the love of the game, I love what I do. I hope you love it too. If you looks like a mental breakdown. We're gonna wait for the buttons to.
I wish you nigga.
It's so excited for you to be a part of this experience with friends. So you want to leave?
It stinks. It's okay. You said on the other end, it sounds clear, so I'll take it. I'll just join your live stream whenever you're streaming at me on Discord. Name is Peace 85. You got it. Peace 85 857. You got it. Thanks for joining the chat. Shouts to Kick. The StreamYard code is available once the stream goes live. So, and if not, let me know. One of these days, maybe I'll send out the code. We'll do a guest stream or something. Who knows? Kick is exciting. All right. So let's get into the negator. One guy, he's also British. He says, "Oh, the world that we live in, we can't have second opinions." That's more Irish. We can't have. Oh, there's no forgiving. Yeah, he was a racist. I think people could change, but I feel like back then there was no room. You didn't have to change. You have to change now. That's the only reason why you guys are changing. You have to change or you won't get paid. You have to change or you'll be canceled. So it's like back then you didn't really have to do anything. So it's really hard to convince me that if it didn't slow your money down, why not be racist? It was popular. So I'll get into the negator. I think this is the pro guy. No, this guy's positive. Hold on. I'll get into the negator and then oh geez. And then I'll get into these are both barely short videos. It's not gonna be a long show, guys. Thank you for joining me. Rough start. Overall, good day. Had a great wrap today. Guys, eat more wraps. It's healthier for you. Feels good, eating a good wrap. What else we got? What kind of day we're having? Still celebrating July. So that's great. Shouts to July babies. And yeah. Okay. Let's get into my man here. Let's talk about Hugo word. I don't care about that. Let's get into just straight up HP Lovecraft defending. Put the shit at 720p because we're on no problems. And then we're going to hear the defense. And then we're getting out of here. Thank you for joining me. Live at 5. The other show starts at 7:45.
Link to internet.com.
Of the previous year. They also take a look at the wider landscape at large, and they will offer retrospective awards.
I wish Magneto did
it's
exist.
considered a premier
Imagine Magneto existed and he just wanted all of the pro-black streams and all of the pro-anti-government streams to work, so he just curbed the Wi-Fi, told Elon Musk to go eat a dick. You can't beat Magneto. So it would be really cool if certain X-Men did exist. because they'll be fighting for us. Actually, you can't talk like that. And then bad things happen when you turn into a bully. So we'll see. But hopefully them Cthulhus will start coming out. Allegedly, they hate disturbance in the peace. So there's nothing more disturbance in the peace than Trump. Huh? He's pretty disturbance. You wish he could be like Vince. Can't. You gotta be part of the people.
Old science fiction convention. It's massive. It shows them.
We got this. Come on. Yeah, I know we are X-Men. God damn it. We're still in that goddamn class. And you know the problem is Xavier. He's all blind. And I think he's just he doesn't know how to teach us. He's like, which one of you run fast? I think our leader is blind. So if we don't have an Xavier, it's just all of us shooting and blasting powers everywhere. Nobody knows how to fucking hold them or control them. Can't have Jedis without Yoda. Is blind. And real shit. This is how stupid and got on stage during a concert.
Regular. No.
So I know a lot of people out there wondering if I could see. I heard all the jokes. This is real shit. He's I heard all the jokes. I heard everybody saying I could see. I'm gonna be honest with you. If I could see, I wouldn't want to see all the things that's happening in this country. And everybody said, dummies, don't clap. Y'all made this joke for years. They made this joke since I was a teenager. His response to that joke was, I'm glad that I'm blind.
Regular.
Being the concert that the concerts are, they just go, hoorah! Stevie. And he's just like stop with that. Stop with those jokes. I'm totally blind. I
Making me nervous. They jump so much because they have superpowers. Can I get the chingo?
all right. Let's get. I'm trying to get to this negator. Or he would call it a Niggurath. Hard on him because when H.P. Craft was a young boy, he had a cat, okay, but he thought the cat was sent probably from hell. He didn't know why the cat didn't listen to him. The parents didn't like the cat. It was actually like sort of a gift from his father. And when he got this cat, again, now I'm asking you, when you look at this guy's history and you thought that there's more than us, consciousness overdrawn or conscious like, okay, well, maybe it came from the term Nigguroth, Sycamore, that he thought came from hell, that was a gift from his dad. He named it Nigger Dash Man. You could be a white parent and you could tell your kids like they don't know damn near 7:30. We know better. And that is just plain old racism. We're
going live.
And if you go, there's another book called Lion and Something. A lot of his books I was reading this whole time. We worry about Huckleberry Finn. This nigga with the rats in the wall, he had a whole cat that chased this rat named Nigger Man. Many different books that have racial undertones in them, and it's not under, it's over. I always say. Again, he's been from the Anglo in England. Well, now believes that the Vikings did. That's something we have something in common. Me and the Vikings have something in common. We do not care. Anglo-Saxon. Gonna say, calm the fuck down. This word is not. He wasn't a child. He was like a teenager. He said nigger man. He chose that. That's fact. So let's listen to this guy defend him, and then I'm gonna get into someone who's just gonna break it down and let you know that he is a straight up racist. And this is they're both coming from book. One guy's Mr. H Review Books, and the book Chemist, another book reviewer. Welcome live at 5, where we do our actual research. Share. So it's a work, and you only got like an hour and change. Skipping.
Large, and
he gets right into it.
They will offer retrospective awards it's well
720 piece. Now my thing is I don't want it to be white
by the members of and it's huge, and it's now being battled against, I guess, by a bunch of plebs on the internet because
who's he talking to? Who's pleb? I'll be considered a pleb because are you giving me a commercial? That's gonna
Game of Thrones. King.
Fuck yourself. Yes, a lot of old work that we glorify, and just realize a lot of these guys were mentally ill and racist, and it's okay. It's okay. It's not even about banning it. I don't think banning it is the case. It's kind of like you see with Hoffman did. I keep changing his name every time. The creator of Lovecraft Country, what he did, he just flipped it on his head. So I don't. When you put all your problems and all of your fear in one race, that's also a mental illness. So there's no reason to ban people who thought like that because it was encouraged. But my thing is this. Now that it's no copyright, the grandson Cthulhu and turned it into just racism, the deity, the god of racism, as in this is what segregation looks like. This world, it's just if you want to do a Lovecraft song with bring the whole family together, we could get down to the nitty gritty. What would she have to say about all of this? Holy shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, we could do that. That's to have an image of what Jim Crow and what racism is in the South in the 1960s and 50s and 60s. So and nobody bat an eye. Won an award, fantastic show. Watch it on your own. Fantastic show. So it came out of nowhere. A lot of people don't understand. Black people are confused by your racism. We are. It's the only thing that lasted this long. We had baggy jeans. We had baggy jeans. Leave and come back. We had baggy shirts. Leave and come back. We had braces. Gold grills. Leave and come back. We had it doesn't shift. You don't shift. You don't grow. You don't ever. You just stay the same. If you don't think we're gonna think.
Little known fact about H.P. Lovecraft is he.
I don't care. I don't like
deeply regretted.
Price. I'm just trying to get through this. Trying to live my life. Trying to my God, it's not all right.
Change. One cannot regret. One cannot repent. And that's why you
that's technical difficulties. I'm trying. Now he is it. He looks like the ones from back then. Blue eyes, British accent, thick in the neck. He would be a priest back then. He would be a bald priest, a thick priest, Anglo-Saxon Christian thick priest, slaughtered by the Vikings. Too slow. I know he looks kind of big, but here's the thing. the same thing like white men now, these the racist ones, these big, the good old boys, they think big gut means like brawn, like literally the brawn guy on the paper towels. Big is not, I don't know how to explain that. When you guys had the slaves, you got the big bucks. You said, I got to choose the biggest slave because I know that they know how to fight. Black people know how to survive tooth and nail. I'm not saying you don't, but you never had to. So I'm just saying when you're big like this, when you're big and you're Anglo and you're British, the threat is like still at a minimal. If you look at a big Irish person, dude, it's threatening. So I don't think anyone, there's not even like British boxers or British UFC people. It's very rare, very rare. It's just not a strong. It's not a strong class. Yeah.
Five. We're going live at 5-ish. 6 o'clock. We're going live at 6 o'clock. It's 5. Ooh, that's it.
Connection. Sorry about that. I feel like a storm's brewing though, to be honest with you. And I did not check to see if StreamYard was working properly today or whatever, but I'm gonna be honest, it gave me a hell of a ride. Hell of a ride starting up. Nay, I can smell the rain, so that's why he's gonna finish up. I got the other guy, and that's it. I'm getting the hell out of here. I hope you learned something today about Shub-Niggurath and also the difference between the creator of Lovecraft Country, the show, and the one slight influence that he had, his name, H.P. Lovecraft, was just Cthulhu, and then Jackie Robinson Smith. It's just that guy's mentality. That author, I'll get his name. What's his name again? Matt Ruff. He writes a lot of books about just racial tolerance and racial resilience, and this story was just one of them that he incorporated. One of but no, this guy is like a racial soldier. That guy. So not H.P. Lovecraft though. Not him. He's just a straight up race guy. He's not a racial soldier. He's just a racial soldier, I guess. I think we're moving a little bit smoother now. Hey.
I wish like, subscribe and share.
Just found out there's an anime game about women, train the women to run in a derby. So like there's real women, like anime women, but they're like named like horses like Buck Shadow, Left Arm, quirky horse names, but they're real humans, but not really, they're horses. and you train them to run in a derby. So I'm just like, well, hold on, what are we doing again? I don't know if I like that. I don't know what's happening with Japan. I fucks with you, Japan, but this is kind of like out of my thing. I don't know. Like it was like, no, it's cute because they're like cute. It's called adorable horses or whatever. Like the term of like woman on the track. So I don't know if Japan knows about like you should is like too on the nose. It's like now these bitches is running, you know, now you gotta tame my bitches, gotta make sure they run quick, gotta make sure they eat, gotta make sure they you know, they healthy. You know, I don't know about that. He said you gotta have a stable. What? No, if you watch any pimp documentary, they always mention the word stable. No. That's when you have about 4 or 5 bitches. That's my stable. It's terrible. I don't think they get it though. They're probably trying to do it like wholesome. Trying to be cute, but I think that anytime you make women run, good is it a kiss from the horsewomen? You see how it gets? It gets creepy. Now we get mixing what you call it. Now we're having sex with the horsewomen. Japan doesn't really know what they're doing when they. This country is like weird with that. We can't wait. It's like what? You get the women are horses. They was already fucking horses. Like oh, this guy. Why don't you love the There's 17,000 views of this video. Yeah, that's right. It mean to me. Could be the topic. No, I'm not gonna get conspiracy. Shit, it's true.
Because he was a race back in those days. Technically, he was more of a xenophobe. Like he like white people that were outside of his community.
The excuse for racism lit, but eccentric. They had different views. He saw the world upside down. He was like
sort of badly done indeed voters, and putting aside the monstrous author, there's still the issue of the florid prose and the sheer narcissism. Also,
Another problem with something else. They want to get rid of all of ancient art, dude, because ancient art is racist. I don't understand. All of the ancient, you guys don't want no new shit, no new black art, no new black nothing. You shut it down immediately when we come up with some because you guys got all these statues, what if we get this one thing? Because we live here, we got to share the fucking space, but you don't want to live like that. So you want to keep up all your old shit because all your old shit is art. Fair enough. It's not. It's all racist art. It was a one-sided vision of what the world was. So now that we all come to life, right? We're all woke now or whatever. So the art has got to change. That was you talking about those fucking 4 white men up there on the statues? Yeah, those got to go too. Who are they? Who knows those men? Who knows these people? Nobody knows them. You know George Washington? I don't know these people. Get them down from there. All 4 of them. Bam, down, down, down. Nobody knows these men. As far as we know, they're fucking psychopaths. And you think that you can ride with them because you think they started the country that you live in and they gave you what? The rights that you have? Dude. It's nothing, right? It's all mythology. There's nothing more accurate than what I'm talking about right now. Those 4 fucking heads could be Mythos, Cthulhu, fucking. They all got killed mysterious ways. And they didn't. Show me George Washington's grave.
Euclidean geometry is boring, not scary. Well,
And then people, they are atrocious at times. Not all, but some. Not all, but some. Let me take that back. Not all, but some. And they stabbed my boy. Shout outs to 25. They stabbed him. He was doing good. Just came off tour with Drake. Stop hanging out with Drake. Stop hanging out with Drake. All my favorite British rappers, because he's throwing you out under the bus. He's using you to get his cred back. He did not have to say that there are no good rappers in America and that all of the best rappers are from London. That's too much fucking fire for you guys to be underneath a radar that you don't need to be. Now you got all these rappers, Joyce Ruckus, who just came out with an album. He's battling Skepta. Hello. Stuff that never happened before. I don't need battle raps between American black rappers and black British rappers. It's 2 different genres. You guys don't rap the same. And Drake doesn't understand that because he's from Canada.
Regular.
I wouldn't ask a Canadian, who's the best black American rapper. Of course he's going to choose. Before I continue this, Stove God Cooks, Clips, West Side Gun, Ghostface Killer, Wu-Tang Clan. Fuck. I'm just trying to name American rappers. Has anyone did a song with Drake? No. Why?
You know, everyone disliked this post. Let's see what people actually replied to this. I generally find the non-Euclidean geometry stuff hilarious. Like he's terrified of crochet. And John Campbell, the guy who ran SF for 50 years. I thought blah blah blah. But, I mean, another try-hard intellectual throwing out word salads in an attempt to sound smarter than they are as a whole. Alone on science.
Because
well noted there.
This is a racist.
Very well noted. Yeah, I'll agree there. And again, the kind of commentary coming out of this is just ridiculous. Remember, it's literary. It's the works.
There we go.
Not the author. Bear in mind, this is not just going to H.P. Lovecraft.
Here we go.
is going to August Derleth and others. He can't anyway because he's dead, but he definitely can't get it because he was racist.
Fuck is happening? You see this shit? They defend people with a debt because of the racial tyranny and their racial the way this guy talks. They're suffering out there because they just like, you don't belong here, we don't want your fucking food, all you do is rape our women, blah blah blah. Meanwhile, they're doing all of that, and the reason why they hate the food because they can't cook. British food is disgusting. I've never met a British chef. Whatever. British chefs are mid. You talk about Gordon Ramsay. Gordon Ramsay is mixed. Okay, look him up. He's got like Irish blood. He's all over the place. Yo, that's racist. And I've seen him cook some stuff. What are you talking about? Wellingtons? Look. I'm just talking about when you went to Gordon Ramsay's restaurant in Las Vegas. Was he serving British food or American food? Yo, that's racist. He had ribs in there, didn't he? Ain't nothing British about ribs. I'll be honest, ain't nothing British about ribs.
The impact on horror is staggering. Hi, this is gross and unnecessary. Right. With all that the world knows about this author.
All right, I think we got enough. We got enough for this guy, right? I mean, he's pretty much gonna keep trolling the chat. He pretty much says like the same thing about. I'll wrap him up about how he feels about going forward. What should we do with racial? Once we find out that all of this old racial stuff, because man, I tell you, you're a fan of the show. I thrive myself on playing Assassin's Creed video games just to figure out what the hell was going on back then and just have a different take on what was going on back then. And if it wasn't for
to love life to have life, and you've got to have life to love life.
If it wasn't for the outside looking in, it just makes everything seem so bleak and like not worth fighting for. They actually have to make Marvel movies to make Earth seem worth fighting for, which is exciting for you guys, but very disappointing to me. It's like this planet has become a place where either you're gonna make some sort of deity is the reason why it's falling apart, or make some sort of fake hope is how we could get it together. I know for a fact that the Fantastic Four is going to touch upon the outside of Galactus and Silver Surfer, maybe the core problems of us as a society and why we should fix each other first before we could even, like, who created Galactus? Who creates these evil powers? Somebody, the same thing like Lex Luthor, somebody sees evilness or evil following on Earth and says like, hey, I bet you feel the way I do. I bet you're tired, blah, blah, blah. And then they rally up and then they get the funding and the power to do what they got to do. The Joker has no superpowers. He's just rich and evil money. Black people, X-Men and our powers haven't come yet. Now, I'm going back to that because now what would X-Men be if they were black? We would be these the real story, the real Batman would be these underprivileged, underfunded superheroes, sort of like Hackers. Watch Hackers, guys. Underprivileged superheroes with no money. They're kind of broke. They kind of got money, but we don't know where it comes from. Because it's like, hey, brand new laptop, but a lot of it comes from the opposition, which is usually how you get funded. They usually fund their own demise. The government usually funds their own demise. I ain't gonna lie. But watch Hackers because it's up to date and it's pretty much letting you know exactly. Okay, put it like this: it's a very cool V for Vendetta, and it's a more sexier V for Vendetta. but it's pretty much saying the same. Oh, well dressed too, right? So it's pretty much letting you know exactly what the government intended from us back in 1995 and their goals and their attempts on to dismantling free speech through wires. And then it touches on like so many crazy things as far as like the lengths that they're willing to go. Now I laughed like, oh come on, that's extensive. But then you watch a show on Netflix called cyber crimes, and then they talk about the length that the government is willing to go to arrest even people who are doing swatting. Which, and that's spoiler alert if you haven't seen Hackers. That's how the movie starts. They start with someone swatting someone. That's how he gets arrested the first time when he serves his largest sentence, and he gets banned from computers for life. So yeah, they've been swatting since the 90s. That crime is back, and they're taking it way over the top. Like now they're trying to like give you felony crimes, and because they claim that, oh, every time you call a SWAT team, it's $1 billion. So now it's more of a government wasted thing. So now it's more of a slap on our wrist for wasting our time and money. So yes, I can't believe they start with swatting. Shout out to Hackers, and it's still one of the tactics that we use, the kids use today to fuck with gamers. They send the fucking SWAT to their house. All right, this guy, he's got a cat in the back. I trust them. He's going to tell you why Lovecraft is a racist, and then I'm getting the hell out of here. Thank you for joining me. It's been Live at 5. The only show that starts at 5 o'clock. Thank God for that rap. Thank God for love. This has been a great episode. This was not, it kind of was like impromptu. Rewatch that South Park footage that I played because it's fucking hilarious, and just watch that entire thing if you're not playing the game. He's got the anime shirt on. Because like it gets real complicated because like the cops start saying like, hey, you know, we need more black people to throw in that thing, and then they start running out of black people, and then they try to figure out how to get. It's very complex, and I thank South Park for that because I don't know why cops keep killing us. It's not even profitable because they keep getting sued. So I don't even get it.
Fucking pig.
If it's not profitable, it's gotta be spiritual. That's what I always say.
Hi everyone, here's the chemist once again, and today I want to talk about a topic which is problematic.
Buffer us. And I ain't talking about muscles.
And complex and difficult, but it's a topic I've been meaning to
take it down. I'll take it down. You already had
this. With you guys for a very long time. It's a topic.
You make me feel like 720 is what you want, but then if I put you on 720, you're not gonna work. You're not gonna do nice. You've been treating me dirty all day. You've been treating me wrong all day.
It's a topic I've been thinking about.
No, you don't.
For years, really, as someone who is.
What do you want?
A huge fan of H.P. Lovecraft. I usually say that he is my very favorite writer, alongside Thomas Pynchon and Michael Chabon. But among these three, Lovecraft is the one I've known.
People love him
for the longest time.
Again, most the black community, most if you're not readers, we just know about him from Lovecraft Country. And then the director had to be like, "Yo, nah, that's not me. This ain't a Lovecraft project." Because they was like, that guy's a racist. This is not affiliated with him. He came out on record and saying like, this is not. He was like, this is not a H.P. Lovecraft project. This is my project. I just use Cthulhu because I can because of copyright infringement. That's it.
He really is the writer that kind of turned me on to the whole literature game, showed me how quirky, how complex, how peculiar, how mind-blowing literature and fiction can be. And it is the one among these writers to whom I go back most often. Again, this is a difficult topic. It's a complex discussion, and I usually don't police my videos too much. I tend to reply to your comments. I usually ignore the ones that I find more puzzling and that I really don't know how to take. I only really remove the ones that are clearly
puzzling. Comments is funny. I don't know what you want me to do with this. This is like, what do you oh yeah? That blind aggression. I don't know what people want with that either. It's hilarious. Well, that's welcome to the internet, baby. Blind aggression is like everyone's super stupid power.
Very exclusively offensive. So if you have a very strong offensive opinion on the topic,
Okay, you're going back to 3. You're going back to
Please
6.
leave it aside.
Struggling. My God. It's okay. Might be the topic. It's okay. I'm done.
Please. Now, I'm fairly positive that every Lovecraft fan out there knows about some of Lovecraft's most contemptible opinions. But if you don't, well, H.P. Lovecraft, very famous, very seminal horror writer, supposed founder of the cosmic horror genre and of the whole Cthulhu mythos, which are enjoying a moment of immense popularity in popular culture, nerd culture, video games, board games. That guy was very much a racist. He wrote some disgusting pieces of racist poetry in his youth. There is a very perceivable element of racism and xenophobia throughout his fiction, and in his letters with his friends, he discusses some very hideous.
As we know, one of the superheroes with xenophobia is from The Boys. What's his name? Mr. America? Homelander. Homelander has xenophobia. He likes being by himself and also with a lot of people. And also when he's in groups, he's turned into a fucking maniac. He wants to blow people's brains out. He wants to, if they do an interview with him, he wants to just think about hatred every time. Yeah, xenophobia. So, no, I'm saying that's what they're saying. Like, it's like you want to be by yourself. You have a fear of the outside world. Now, if you have a hint of racism, you're going to say that your fear is because of these people keep doing this. And my fear of going outside is because these people keep doing this. You could probably, if you're trying to master your fear, you could put it on somebody. If you're trying to say the reason why you don't leave the house, the reason you have a fear of humanity progressing, because that's all it is. Xenophobia is just having a fear of the death of humanity, right? So you're like, who's doing that? Maybe these people or maybe those people. You could pinpoint it opposed to just saying like, maybe life is life be life in, and then you got to kind of box it out your own way. It's not, everyone's not attacking you. You know what I'm saying? So if you feel like everyone's attacking you, then yeah, you could find like maybe a culprit to pinpoint it on, which is not any way to solve your problems, i.e. Hitler. Going back. Hitler thought that the y'all was flying around, the Jews. It's probably in his nightmares, but he saw something. He was like, something ain't right. I don't know, he felt it. Not saying it was right, but you see the impact when people have a fear of just the other human man. That's xenophobia, where you're just fear of just the person right next to you. So you can make up whatever you want of that person, which I really believe, because the fact he named his cat Nigger Man, and he said that cat was from hell, and he got it from his dad, that he really had a fear of the African American and the Negroid, and he really named that God after us. Because if you do Mother Nature, Africa, and you do Mother Nature, I don't care. We could do whatever you want. This is not that kind of show.
You've got to love life to have life. And you've got to have life to love life.
You could do whatever you want. I'm just saying, if someone depicts a person being the grandmother of his anthologies and all of his creatures that he created, like this is the grandmother, but this one happens to have goat feet and just does nothing but recycle Black Death, and then everything that it produces ends up killing itself, but just reproducing, but then killing itself again, and then just never could get right. And it's called the Nigguroth. It sounds really personal, brother. I mean, you have to convince me that it's not 1-in-1. How can it be? And why'd you name your cat Nigger Man?
Immigrants, on race, on the fact that, according to him, pretty much only Anglo-Saxons and maybe potentially Germans are good races, whereas all the others are kind of inferior ones. And I don't want to play the race card in this video because, by all means, I've never been in my life subject to any form of racism. But as someone who is Italian, that in a way touches me, at least tangentially, at least theoretically, let's say. What I mean is that if Lovecraft came back, I met
some really racist Italians in my life, so to see an Italian person do a video about racism, it's got to be true. So shout out to this guy. I've met some really Italian, like I've never really, I'm gonna be honest with you, I never met an Italian that wasn't like comfortable saying the N-word. Uncomfortable saying the N-word. Never met one in movie and real life. Let's go to those niggas over there. Whoa, hey, yo. It's okay. They don't care.
When you see what's going on, so whatever you can do to help financially,
Nobody knows what the fuck is going on. They don't know what the fuck. They don't know what the fuck is going on.
Or $10
Nobody.
or $100.
I'm quoting my president. Nobody. I'm quoting my president. Nobody knows what the. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. I'm quoting my president. All right, back to it.
Walked through the door. I don't think. Well, I think our conversation would be quite embarrassing. Now, the full extent of Lovecraft's racism is not going to be the subject of this video. If you're interested in that, there are lots and lots of books you can read to access what kind of person he was. I'll put a link to a few ones in the description box. It's not my aim now to discuss whether he was, say, more or less racist than other writers, people like Charles Dickens, people like Edgar Allan Poe, also because that would kind of go against my main point as I'm going to develop in the video. Some people will tell you that
all of these white fucking authors on one video, you're done. You're done, because the majority is gonna be like, "What are you saying, bro? Like, what are you saying? You saying like all of our history is racist? Go back to your own country." That's what I'm gonna say.
What are we talking about?
He's done. The fact that he already said that he's Italian, he's done. They're gonna tell him to go back to where he came from. If you don't like the way things are being run here, you can go back to where you came from. Mario. That's what you gotta say. Not a lot of white people talking about Lovecraft Country's racism. They say keep the books. He didn't do anything wrong. It's our sensitivity. It takes an Italian to say, well, I feel like I'm a big fan of his work. I feel like he has really he sees the word disgusting racial things. He does. He's one of those white people that they were here back like today. He'll be like a jock, or like no, because he loves it so much. That's my nigger cat. That's nigger. Like he's just so cool. Like yeah, he's so racist that it's he having fun with it, and he also writes. So like imagine some sort of like weird Johnny Depp or like a fucking racist Blumhouse.
Well, that's the way people in the
Blumhouse
20s and 30s thought. Other scholars will tell you that,
he's a
well,
master
actually, no, even in the 1930s, he was pretty fucking racist. But that's besides my point. I'm not going to discuss and to address that. Lovecraft's racism had never been a secret, but it was brought to the forefront of the literary world, and it was discussed in literary magazines, in literary websites in 2011, I think, when Nnedi Okorafor, a Nigerian-American writer, won the World Fantasy Award. In the past, when you won the World Fantasy Award, they gave you a bust of Lovecraft as a statue. It was kind of a caricature. And Okorafor,
I'm sorry. Do you remember the British video that I was playing about the other guy, and he was talking about the Hugo Awards, that H.P. Lovecraft won? This guy's mentioning another award that you get for just being a regular human being, like a sane human being. Didn't mention that award. This is what I'm saying. You have to have like two different versions of what you're watching, because these people are really destined to have you just think of one person as one way. As he won all those Hugo Awards, there was these other awards that existed that he failed to mention, that he missed out on. That's what I'm saying. Like shit like this, like the fact that you have to hide it. If Malcolm X was alive today, I don't think that the internet would have to hide anything about these people. I don't think any of our black leaders would have any secrets, i.e., don't get me started with Martin Luther King. I already know, blah, blah, blah. FBI propaganda. But as far as how much of it was true, opposed to the lies, is nothing more different than the actual president of the United States was doing at the time. So, be better than who?
Reading, and it seems truly awesome. It's right up my alley. I'll probably be reviewing it on my channel. Okorafor wrote an article on her perplexity in being awarded the statue of such a racist person, and other writers chimed in. S.T. Joshi, the main Lovecraftian scholar working today, also opposed this controversy. He raised some points about this kind of debate missing the point about literary appreciation, focusing instead too much on Lovecraft as a person rather than Lovecraft as a literary figure. But the way I am summarizing our argument is going to make it sound simple, and it wasn't. Orafor didn't at all say or write that Lovecraft should be banned from libraries and bookstores or such. And Josh's point wasn't that, well, we should just excuse him because literature is not about that stuff. It was much more complex. And again, I'm going to post maybe a few key links, but no amount of links I can put in the description box can give you a full picture of the situation. You'll have to do some independent research on that if you're interested in that stuff. Now, my take as someone who loves Lovecraft's fiction, someone who fell in love with it at 15, 16, and since then I've discovered several writers that I appreciated immensely, and then suddenly I didn't like them anymore, but Lovecraft has stayed. He has stuck. I keep going back to his fiction. It has helped me see the world through a different lens. Or actually what happened was that it helped me understand the way I saw the world.
Well, no, because a lot of these people had a different perspective. So you're not gonna ride with them just because you like their work. Once you figure out that these people's main perspective was like a racial intent, and that it was all reversed, it wasn't about you, it was about anti-you. Doesn't that make you want to get rid of all this stuff? Right. So I think that that's going to be the wave of what's happening with all of these authors and directors and all these other people that they keep throwing at, creators and fucking Michelangelos and all these people. They're going to come out as super racist, and it's like once the Mona Lisa comes as a racist and she hated niggas, what do we think of art? You know what I mean? Of what they want us to think of their art, you know? Guaranteed the Mona Lisa was racist. Take it from me. How could you not be in that time? It doesn't make sense. So it's just kind of like all the people they have us idolize as they do, it's going to come down that we're like, oh, he's just following all these races as they want us to. And then we have to make up our own assessment of where we want to go forward. But you don't have to do anything if you live here. We're allowed to play fair. So if you keep making your quarterbacks the racist people in the country that we live in, guess what? You don't have to play the game. But everyone on the outside coming in, they could fucking call them out.
In that way that literature does, and that is beautiful, you know, that it talks about stuff that you already knew, but you didn't know how to put it.
Love life.
Commercial? What's doing, no girl? Ringing. All right, commercial. Welcome to Live at 5, the only show that starts at 7:30. It's late show tonight. Thank you.
Delete.
Where'd you go? All right, almost done.
Inevitably, because there are people, they are.
I'm like, what gives Tyler Perry the money seance to do the things he does? You want to talk about his black sacrifice? I think anyone that's involved in his projects are sacrificing themselves. So if you want to talk about Shub-Niggawhat, the first thing I thought was Tyler Perry. I'm not even kidding.
He's the
nigga, he's the nigga that's pushing black niggas off a cliff. How you gonna do that to Taraji, nigga? Like, you know how hard she's gonna have to come back from that shit? That trash?
What are we talking about?
He's a Shub-Niggurath. I think it's Tyler Perry. Yeah, the police, but see now the police are tricky because they say sacrifice in the sense of like the body's dead though, and of course like locking the body up, which of course is another form of death. But what is the equivalent of cursing someone without punishment? Money. Tyler Perry keeping his employees rich with his own practices. I think that's a form of, would you say, demonic possession. For you to continue to work with this person who we all know is not doing the right thing by Black people or people in general, wouldn't that be a form of demonic possession if you continue to go back to his projects knowing that the entire world and or internet's going to make fun of it? Is that like some form of movie EBT? You need it to survive. She has to go to one more vacation and I'm done.
It's not just about saving.
I just need to answer in the sense of if he didn't pay, would you do it? That's how you know someone's possessed by the devil. If you didn't get paid, would you do it? They go, oh, hell no. That's how you know you're just doing it for money. That sucks then. Ask Taraji if she
are people
for free.
Going to
for the
be
message.
Disgusting in one way or the other. All of us, if we stop and think about it, maybe there's a certain thing we don't really care that much about, or maybe we feel strongly about something but do nothing to change the situation. People are flawed, and that's supposed to be the way, whereas literature can be beautiful exactly because it's outside people, it's external, it's made up. But this type of attitude, prioritizing aesthetic appreciation rather than ethical or moral concerns, is a very slippery way of approaching fiction. The usual objection to this view, and it is a sensible objection, is that, well, Hitler was a painter. Had he been a better painter, had he been a very good painter, would we be supposed to appreciate his stuff and put it in museums? That would be ridiculous.
No, you can't call him a cutie.
The situation, as with all human matters, is incredibly nuanced. There can be no straightforward solution. The literature teaches us that straightforward solutions are usually bad, and they ignore the complexity of a situation.
Art, though.
What I'm trying to, and probably you have to consider this stuff on a case-by-case basis. What I'm trying to say is that saying that art should have precedence over all sorts of moral concerns, and that it is wrong to fail to appreciate something or even censor something because that will be an infringement of free speech freedom. That's the kind of attitude assholes use to justify their hate speech. I firmly believe in that, but I also believe that there is something wrong in reading fiction and approaching books because you are convinced that they're written by good people. I think there's a basic misunderstanding on what fiction is supposed to be in that idea, and that when people focus on a certain writer or focus on a certain genre because that's supposed to be written by good people, well, maybe there are better ways of doing something good for yourself or for the world, or for getting to know good people and their work. But what do I know? It's just my opinion. And I have friends, for instance, who started reading Mayweather's fiction.
Yeah, it's like during COVID, people used to yell at their families. We saw that on fucking Seth what's his name? Seth Miles? Seth Meyers. Yes, he was in the basement, his attic, and he would be yelling at his kids, "Hey, I'm filming. It's COVID time, daddy's time." So yeah, I know that that there's going to be a new breed of film directors and like people who call out there's a good place to shoot. casting directors and location spotters in your own crib, because everyone's becoming their own director. and will become their own producer, which is great. And sound editor. It's like I don't like this. So let me get you put the projection. That's you on your own streams. That's what's up. I feel like we're all becoming our own Michael Bays because it's not quite. I'm not gonna go E.T. Steven Spielberg. We're not Steven Spielberg. We're Michael Bay. A lot of these streams are just Michael Bay. They're hard. They're hot. They're fast. They're sweaty. They're shiny. We're all becoming our own Michael Bays. I think that's what's up. I think that anybody just like this guy, who I found don't know who this guy is, if you have you feel an opposition and you have your opposing feeling towards something that you feel is wrong for the earth, definitely make a video about it because you never know who's gonna find it. Somebody like Negros could find it. I respect this guy. He doesn't have to do this. He's choosing to be the outside out. He's going to be out. He's going to get kicked out of his group because he's calling out racism. So, and these profound writers who, just because they came out a long time ago, they got to be right. That sounds like a child. Don't be a child.
They knew about his activism, and that is, it's not like it's wrong. Of course, maybe that's not the way I go about discovering writers. But maybe I'm also a bit of a slob, and I'm not saying that those people were wrong. See how complex discussing all this stuff is? But I mentioned an idea of discussing these issues on a case-by-case basis. What about
diets and fucking
killing? The point I'm going to make, and it has been my experience, and by all means,
I need a black
tell me if your experience has been different, is that I never perceived Lovecraft's stories to be racist. In fact, it seems to me that they do a very good job at being anti-racist. Right. For the love of God, there is an abundance of racist views in them. Stories such as the Horror at Red Hook, the Call of Cthulhu, the Shadow Variants,
the Red Robin, the Red thing.
All have these hideous views on immigrants, minorities, the Hunter in the Dark.
But that's what he says is not connected.
Color Out of Space. These views on minorities and newcomers to America.
He says it's not connected. For a person who lived in a melting pot,
you mourn it. So if we're wrong, it's the right religion. It's not about who's right or wrong. No denomination is nailed yet because they're all too self-righteous to realize that it doesn't matter what you have faith in, just that you have faith. Your hearts are in the right place, but your brain's got to wake up.
Some got it. I don't have a problem with you, H.P. Lovecraft. I understand the white fear. I talk about it every day. 3 times a day, but 3 times a day, but a couple of times off stream with my wife. We talk about white fear. Nigga, we have to drive and have to deal with white fear, right? Cops white fear, right? So we constantly think about your fear, but is your fear really like some fucking big goat black woman who keeps birthing all these niggas that keep like fucking and then keep bringing out death and destruction, like the cycle, like we're the anti-Rafiki to you? That sucks. We created Africa and the Lion King, so it would suck for us to be like the anti-version of the circle of life for you. The real answer to this is that you destroyed the circle of life. You destroyed the wheels under him. You destroyed that. You destroyed all that because we tried. We tried to have tribes. We tried to have giraffes hang out with porcupines, all that shit. You destroyed that. Now you got Native Americans yelling at black people.
Yo, that's racist.
Are you happy now? Are you happy now? This is kind of like your gung ho, right? Now you got millions of views on streams of Indians yelling at black people. Like we did it. Like we the Tonto.
Delete! 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 Delete!
Don't pretend like you don't know what you're doing. Now you gotta act like y'all woke. Indians, Native Americans, if you're woke, why are you letting them fool you again, you stupid? They're getting you again, dummy. They tried this with us. They tried to make us think that we're gonna get, I don't know, they tried a couple of times with us. This is the first time they fucking with y'all, and y'all really gonna turn on us. I think that's kind of stupid. they've been trying to trick us to turn on y'all turn on everybody. Like, oh, don't y'all know who nobody helping you? We give them casinos. What you gonna do about it? We could have fucking get crazy on your ass. We could have went medieval on your ass. You talk about Earth, like American reparations. Those casinos are on our land, but we could have went crazy, but we didn't go crazy. We let you just have. We get it. You guys been through a lot. I don't know how to make a bow. I don't know how to make a bow and arrow. I don't know what to do with them feathers either. I don't.
Once again, I'm not an activist. I'm just caught up in the shit. When you start the shit, you can't stop the shit till you finish the shit. I'm in the shit.
But the guys turned against each other on purpose. Just like that nigger cat. It's just that sort of like power that they know they have to make a racial problem even a household name. They make racial issues household because all of our issues are benign to the power that they have. Now, it's up to you. I'm not going to do one of those videos like you got to stand up to your oppressor, blah, blah, blah. In the end, before you go into the video sphere and TikTok sphere and sit down and do your makeup and then do your hair to look more Native American than you actually look on a daily basis and all the shit that y'all be doing, a lot of niggas like, I don't know, there's a lot of niggas like going extra nigga. I mean, listen, they're doing that on purpose, right? Like this is a new generation genocide. They're trying to turn us on each other again, okay? I call it comedic colonialism. Comedic colonialism. You heard that here first. I say it. Comedic colonialism.
You know where that came? That came from me. That came from me. It was my doing.
The same thing that came from H.P. Lovecraft is him being nervous. He's been nervous since he was a boy. He's been nervous. That's why we got all this great work. Now, I'm not saying none of his stuff is like useless because I'm a big fan. I mean, I'm just talking about game wise. I don't watch a lot of his the movies and shit like that. But as far as video games, when it comes to like underworld fish people and how the earth got taken over by fish people, I didn't know that those fish people were Caucasians and they're just blocking us out because we don't know how to swim because we were traumatized by the ocean. You know, I'm just trying to double down what is his utopia. You really have to double down on what you would want for your own utopia and what your vision of beauty is. You could write and draw 12 angelic white Christians on a ceiling in a church and think that you're going to heaven. But meanwhile, that painter may be a pedophile. So I'm just saying, like, we have to use our modern brains for those racial mental illness designers and creators of our past and get the real rats out of our walls. Okay, the rats in our walls is a fucking book made in 1923 where he definitely mentions his cat nigger man who gets those rats out of his walls. This guy dreamed, slept, and wept of some sort of black takeover, and he put it in monster form. The reason why we haven't used all of his work in a grand scheme, where you haven't seen a lot of Lovecraft stuff, you got like Mummy and shit like that, you haven't got a lot of Lovecraft stuff because it is racially based. Now, the only time we saw it in our lifetime that was a big deal on HBO was on Lovecraft Country, done by my man Matt Ruff, who just decided to use his work to depict what Jim Crow was. Because no one understands what Jim Crow is as a white person. They don't understand. So you have to put it in a Cthulhu form. Imagine this. Imagine this big entity with 12 eyes, 72 technicals, and it just controls. It's just a racist monster. That's what Matt Ruff depicted the first time ever, by the way, that Cthulhu would be is just a racial monster who is just locking it down and making sure that it never ends. Now, if H.P. Kraft was alive, he would fucking flip, because I'm gonna be honest with you, he probably believed that that's what he was doing, and the fact that he figured it out would be crazy. Could you imagine being Sherlock Holmes without the PCP nowadays? And you're awake, no ketamine, and someone figured out one of your crimes. You're like, how'd you get that without the ketamine? Someone would tell H.P. Lovecraft today that we figured out that all of your monsters were just your fear, your Anglo-Saxon fear of Black domination, which is okay. That's the same fear that existed today.
The African American, the whole American. He wasn't raised by a black woman. You know that.
It's up to you to decide like which fiction and what's reality, and it's not our job to be your Marvel. It's not a job to be your Marvels. So appreciate the appreciation. Shout outs to H.P. Lovecraft. This episode went way longer than I wanted it to go, but it was good. I hope you learned something. All those videos are available. Dealing with Lovecraft's racism. You can just Google that. This guy, he'll break it down. He gets into it. He gets deep into it. You go watch him cook. But I gotta go. But thank you. Don't forget to love yourselves and we love you back. I just feel like it's very simple. If you want to make a monster for who you are, then make a monster, but don't share it. Don't share for other people to not be able to face their own fears. Some people are ready to face their fears, and let them face their fears. And you, coward, you keep hiding under the bed. All right. Don't forget to love yourself and you'll be back. I'll see you tomorrow. We'll be on time. We'll try it.
I don't need.